Hey there, Wastelanders, it's Brother Mike, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about a few things that it seems everyone has overlooked to do with Mr. House in Fallout Season 2. And you may be asking, what do you mean by that? We've gotten all the information, it's all set out in front of us. But no, there's a few things in the extras, and there's a few things that are inferenced and shown in the show that no one is really talking about. And that has to do with everything from Mr. House's database, which is showcased in the extras tab on the Amazon Prime Fallout Season 2 page, and also some of the implications that Mr. House having cold fusion has. For the first time ever, we are seeing New Vegas fully independent. They're not relying off of Hoover Dam. They're not relying off the power grid like pre-war. He is fully independent. As we know, the reactor in the Lucky 38 is non-operational. And when it is operating, it is not working well. Hence why Mr. House has to put himself in the coma before the events of Fallout New Vegas and after the bombs drop. But what we see in the show is a Vegas fallen on hard times, and it seems that Hoover Dam isn't pumping the electricity it needs for not only Mr. House to be operational, but the Strip to properly function. And why am I saying this? It seems that there's lights on, but when we approach Mr. House's huge master control terminal, when Cooper Howard does, he is offline. And when Cooper Howard inserts cold fusion, just like how it was supposed to be there 200 years in the past, but he thwarted that, Mr. House comes back online. He establishes his connection again, and instead of saying, "Thank you for waking me up," he says, "It feels good to be alive again." What do you mean by that, Mr. House? Did you die? Did the Courier or potentially Yes Man take over? Or did the Legion or the NCR take over potentially? And did you back yourself up? Something I theorized months and months ago when the very first trailer came out. It's honestly my claim to fame, to be honest, and is still one of my best performing videos till this day. So check that out here if you want to see more about that theory. But that is not what we're talking about. I first want to explain something we see in the Extras tab. We learn that Mr. House has a database, which every robot or piece of technology that he has produced can connect to. And that data comes all back to Mr. House. That's how he sees the demon in the snow, the Deathclaw in Anchorage, Alaska, and why he says he was there with Cooper, because he was watching through Cooper's armor. So, if Mr. House can not only connect to his technology, his robots, this means he may have access to everything now. With cold fusion, we don't really know what he's fully capable of at all. I mean, he has unlimited energy, so is he going to be able to establish a link again with his database? And do we already see him doing that in Fallout Season 2? Well, when Cooper Howard is walking around with Mr. House on the Pip-Boy, which I mind you is the coolest thing the show has shown us yet, in my opinion. But I mean, oh my gosh, I need to find out how to get that on my Pip-Boy, because my lord, that was the coolest thing ever. But I'm getting sidetracked. We see that he's established to the Pip-Boy already. And then he's also established to the administrative vault hidden under New Vegas, which Hank is residing in. And you may say, he says that he was watching over them, not that he's connected. Well, he literally opens up the cryo freezer for Cooper Howard to potentially find his family, which are not there. But he has access to that, and he may have access to a lot more now. They had a big emphasis on this in all of the extras. They almost every single one to do with the Robco Industries mentioned his database and how Mr. House is connected, which means, could he potentially connect to Liberty Prime? Or could he connect to other facilities far away from Vegas now? And could we see him appear in future games? I mean, that would be a very cool quest line. You walk into a Robco facility or one of the many companies that Robco owned, and Mr. House flashes on your Pip-Boy or on a big screen in there and is asking for your help because he's lost connection to a part of the the warehouse or the factory and he needs your help to get it, and he'll reward you if you help him. I think that'd be sick, and we'd also see how he's working in the background to accomplish this goal that he set so many years before. So there is so much there. There's so much to talk about. I'm really going to sit down and go through an in-depth video over all of these. It's a little iffy. I want to show you guys this stuff, but every time I've showed it before, I get copyright striked and I have to take it out of my video, or I usually just let them have the money. Why? Too much work, to be honest. But yeah, so that's gonna come out soon. I'm gonna see how far I can push it or how far clips, or I may just show screenshots, but there's a lot to this. Mr. House can connect to his robots again, and we know he worked on Liberty Prime. If Elder Quintus somehow builds Liberty Prime, which I don't think it could be feasibly possible, but if the OG Liberty Prime does show up in Vegas, what if the Brotherhood, Elder Maxon's Brotherhood, set him on New Vegas to get Cold Fusion? And like always, they use Liberty Prime to spearhead the operation. He makes his way through Freeside, no problem. But the minute he steps foot on the Strip, he stops. The Brotherhood scribes and knights are freaking out. What's going on? What happened? And crackling over his speakers, his voice dwindles. And who comes over but Mr. House? His magnum opus, which he worked on 240-ish years prior to the show and the game, finally returned to him and ready to protect Vegas forever. I mean, it isn't wild. They've been doing a whole lot. So, I mean, sorry, I was cooking so hard that I literally broke reality for a second. But they've done a lot in the show, and it could be possible. But this also brings up something else. Mr. House created the Protectrons. And who is one of our favorite Protectrons in Fallout New Vegas? Fisto. And he is within Mr. House's parameters for at least connecting to Securitrons, which means he could connect to far more, which means Mr. House has access to not only Fisto, but Fisto's programming, his memory, which means he knows who's used Fisto, who's his most frequent user, who spent the most money on Fisto. So, somewhere out there, somewhere in Mr. House's database, there are the Fisto files. And I will see to it, to the best of my abilities, that I recover these files to prove, not only to you, but to everyone else, that I am not on the Fisto files. Now, they may be hard to find, and they may not exist at all, but who knows? But besides the jokes and everything, this is huge. Lore-wise, this is huge. Mr. House is now most likely in an AI form and no longer actually alive, meaning he can basically be anywhere within his database, all the time, all at once. Are we seeing the creation of a potential new villain, maybe? Now, do I like this idea? No. But we've seen what AIs do when they're left alone. And we're now seeing, potentially, one of the most powerful and dangerous AIs in the entire Fallout franchise. And it's all just a backup of Mr. House. This all stems off of the theory that he did back himself up. I mean, he does say that Cooper Howard brought him back to life. He said, "Thank you for bringing me back to life," or "It's good to feel alive again," or "to be alive again." He specifically says alive and instead of woken up or out of my coma, and then goes on to describe how people have tried to kill him and how he may have forfeited his physical body, but now his mind is integrated and uploaded into not only the Lucky 38, but the Mr. House database. And I'm so excited to see where they go with this. That they can do so much, not only with the show, but with the games. And we also know from his terminal, he had a few states that were highlighted that have a lot of Enclave activity. And he was also hooked in to the same vault Hank was using to relay and send data to the Enclave. So, Did Cooper Howard make a mistake just willy-nilly walking away from Mr. House? And did Mr. House potentially have all the answers for where Cooper can find his family, but he was just too naive and too hateful to do so? And speaking of, that brings me to the next point. Why does Cooper Howard hate House so much? He really didn't do anything to him. Now, you can chalk this up to Cooper Howard is mad that he was selfish enough to just save himself in Vegas, but do you really think that even if Mr. House had unlimited technology and resources like he already did, that he would even be able to do what he did in Vegas to America as a whole? And he didn't even succeed with Vegas. The platinum chip never arrived. His systems were never upgraded, and he, in his terms, failed at saving New Vegas. Now, he did protect it, and he did preserve it, but he himself is not happy with the performance he had. And there's so much to this, guys. There's so much. I'm so excited to see where they go with this and potentially what they could do with this. I also just noticed that my microphone is all the way up, so I am so sorry. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. If you agree with me on this theory or the multitude of theories I have posed throughout this video, or if I'm just crazy. Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you consider commenting, liking, and subscribing? I post daily Fallout videos, all from theories to do with the show, to stuff with the games, and now that the show's over, I can go over so much more lore. So, thank you so much for joining me today, and if you want to chat more about Fallout with other Fallout-minded people, why don't you consider joining the Discord? I'll have it linked down below. But with all of that being said, you don't forget, you are cared for, you are loved, and you stay safe out there, Wastelanders.